I laughed before I could catch it. The sound escaped easily, soft, calm, unguarded, right as my sister raised her hand to display the ring that had once been meant for me. The dining room fell into silence. My mother's smile stiffened in place. My father focused on the tabletop as if it might split open beneath him. And the man standing next to my sister, my former fiancé, reacted instantly because he recognized that laugh. He knew what it meant. I was already ahead. She pressed closer to him, smug, almost performative. "I wanted you to hear it from us," she said, as though she were doing me a kindness. "This is my husband." I nodded once. I took in his suit, tailored just a little too snug, the watch he'd never paid for, and the woman wearing my wedding dress, poorly altered at the waist. Then I met his eyes and smiled. "Congratulations," I said. "You married my debt." But none of this began at that table. It began years earlier, with the kind of love that makes you reckless. I met him in a bookstore cafe. He asked to borrow my pen. I handed him my number instead. He spoke about markets as if they were chess games. He said he admired my patience. I believed him. When he proposed, he did it quietly, without an audience, because he knew I hated grand displays. My sister cried harder than anyone else. My parents called him catch. I convinced myself that mattered. Then I left to volunteer overseas for 6 months. Water systems, clinics, endless days, unreliable signal. I trusted them to handle things at home. I trusted my sister to help with dress fittings. I trusted my parents to watch the house. I trusted the man who promised he would wait. The first warning came as a joke from a stranger online, a congratulatory message. The wrong name, the wrong date. I brushed it off. Then another message arrived. Then a photo. My sister's hands, unmistakable, resting on a sleeve I knew too well. I didn't explode. I didn't call anyone. I asked questions. I asked for more. Time zones are useful when you need distance. From afar, I watched patterns emerge. Shared dinners, bank alerts forwarded to the wrong email, a change of address form submitted while I was gone. They assumed my absence meant I didn't know. It didn't. It meant I could see clearly. The marriage license was public record. The date sat squarely in the middle of my time overseas. My parents' names were listed as witnesses. I stared at the document until my hands stopped shaking. Then I slowed my breathing. I didn't confront them. I prepared. The man they married wasn't the man they believed they'd taken from me. 3 months before I left, I had moved my assets into a blind trust. Not because I distrusted him, because I trusted myself. My grandmother always said love is an emotion, not an agreement. He signed a prenup he never bothered to read. He laughed, snorted, really, when I suggested separate accounts. He always laughed when he thought he'd won. I let him believe my wealth was accessible. It wasn't. It was structured, shielded, conditional. While I was overseas, I contacted my attorney, then my accountant, then his former business partner, the one he'd silenced with an NDA and a grin. We compared stories. What I uncovered was the truth behind the tailored suits. Leveraged risks, quiet defaults, and a lawsuit waiting for a name to claim it. So I gave it one. I returned home early. I said nothing. I filed paperwork discreetly. I alerted the bank about unauthorized access. I reported identity misuse because forging my signature is still a crime, even if you share DNA. I let every piece fall into position. They hosted a welcome-back dinner, the kind designed to trap you in politeness. My sister wore my dress. My parents practiced their justifications. He rehearsed his apology in the mirror. That was the night she introduced him as her husband. That was the moment I laughed. "Tell her," I said softly to him. "Tell her what you married into." His jaw tightened. "Nothing," he said. So I spoke. "You see," I said, folding my hands, "the accounts you think belong to me are empty. The properties are held by the trust, and the trust dissolves upon breach, fraud, infidelity, impersonation." I turned toward my parents. "You witnessed a felony." My sister's smile fractured. "You're lying." I slid my phone across the table. The lawsuit filing. His former partner's affidavit. The bank notice. The prenup clause highlighted in yellow. She scanned quickly. She always did. Her breath caught when it clicked. He stood up suddenly. "I can explain." "No," I said calmly. "You can't. But you can listen." I told them about the debt, the liens, the court date scheduled under his, now her last name. I explained how marriage made it shared, how the ring she was showing off was collateral, how the house they moved into had never been his to offer. My mother finally cried, real tears. My father wouldn't meet my eyes. My sister reached for him in panic. He stepped away. The silence was exact, surgical. A week later, the annulment attempt failed. It was too late. The documents were valid. The signatures were genuine. Love doesn't cancel contracts. Consequences don't care about intentions. He called once, left a voicemail. He sounded smaller. I deleted it. My sister moved back in with my parents. She avoids mirrors now. My parents hired an attorney. It changed nothing. Some decisions don't come with exits. I didn't take anything from them. I let the system operate exactly as it was built to when given the truth. Justice isn't loud. It's precise. Sometimes it sounds like laughter in a silent room. Sometimes it looks like a woman standing alone, lighter than she's felt in years. Understanding that betrayal didn't break her. It showed her how strong she already was. The man she married was never wealthy. He was only expensive, and I let her pay.